separate place with this because I have so much on this, because I want to pose to you guys these questions. These are things you have to think about. I put out enough information to already change your mind and crush you. Either you don't want to accept it, or you just not looking at the information, which is, I suspect that's what's happening. People getting their feelings hurt before the video even get halfway through, and then they're writing it off because you guys are quoting what you've seen on social media, all of it pertaining to your faith in the book, but none of it having any validity or fact to your point. So my issue with you guys is exactly that. There's no proof. And I know, like, we're talking about information and we're comparing basically evidence that's out there for both sides. And the thing is, one, for something this deep, right, this type of claim, you have to have more evidence, right? You have to have more proof, more things proven true than false for something this deep, right? So where is it? And that's the thing. You guys don't have it. You have the book. And whenever I'm talking with a Hebrew, every debate turns into a verse, right? Book, chapter, and verse that has never been proven. And that's what I say. That's what I usually say once we get into all that. I let these people read and they copy and paste the verse. And I just reply, when was this ever proven? Because you can't give book, chapter, and verse to fit with physical reality that has never been proven. Where does that work at? It doesn't work in a court of law. It doesn't work anywhere, right? So I indulge people and I go off of their faith, and we could just take that and take the faith on basically, what these guys are claiming it is. I'll take that. And then I'll try to make it work for them. Because if it works, then okay, we can find in history where this might make sense. Now, when people talking about, the walls of Jericho and talking about the wars and Ark of the Covenant and everything that these people have, there should be so much proof of this. There should be so many civilizations talking about this. The people who they fought, which we can't find any of these tribes. There should be some type of documentation, somebody seen something. You can't have 1 million Hebrews marching across Israel or marching to Israel and nobody's seen shit. How is that? How is that possible when every civilization seen the Greeks going around and conquering during that time, right? We have other civilizations that can basically go ahead and say, yeah, the Greeks did this, the Greeks did that. We have, again, Herodotus, who can attest to the conquest of the Persians in Egypt, right? So we have that. We have other civilizations that can attest to the ancient Egyptians. But more than that, we have the Egyptian civilization itself. We have the bodies, we have artifacts, we have everything to coincide with that. Same for the Greeks, same for the Romans, same for all the players in this biblical story except for the Israelites, right? You guys got to think about that. So again, I'll go back to my original question, right? Because I know I'm all over the place with this. The thing is this, one, what do we have? What can you guys put up to prove that this stuff has any validity to it, right? So going back to the beginning, you have to ask yourself that question. Is it more likely that this thing was created, or more likely that it's the truth and we just don't have any proof because it was all destroyed somehow? And if it was all destroyed somehow, then how did we get what we have, and how could you guys accept what we have as being any type of proof or proven in any way, any context? You simply can't, right? Again, I'm not trying to destroy anybody's faith or what have you. I'm giving you guys truth and fact, right? The Septuagint is where we get the inception of the Bible. Nothing before that. I gave you guys Hebrew is Greek by Dr. Joseph Yehuda, who basically proves 100% that the Hebrew and Arabic languages was created by the Greeks, which is why that book is $10,000 if you can find a copy. We don't have it. It's a rare book. I posted that as well. And it's a reason why the book is scarce, because the book has never been debunked. You can go and look at any type of, let's just say, negative insight into the book or detractions or what have you. Or, I always tell you guys when you're doing any research, especially if you go on Wikipedia or something like that, go scroll all the way to the bottom and look at what people said against this information and see what holds up. Nothing holds up to that book, right? People have critiqued it, and some people gave issue because remember, Dr. Joseph Yehuda wrote the book, but one of his students finished it and put it out. But again, it's like trying to disprove 1 + 1 is 2, right? You can't, in that context, if you understand how to read and write those languages, he broke it down, he killed it. There's no way around it. That's why if you find a copy of the book and you have the money, you buy it immediately. You can put it out on eBay or Amazon for whatever price you want. Somebody's going to buy it. So we have that, right? We have that. We have the fact that all of the doctrines that we look at to try to give us some type of insight into the Hebrew Israelite teachings, none of it fits at all. And another big one for me would have to just be the whole being cursed thing. Because if we're going to accept that we are cursed, you got to ignore history. You got to ignore the fact that the Europeans amassed a military and had intelligence to go in and infiltrate and conquer us, steal our shit, claim it as their own, enslave us, right? We got to ignore all that shit and say God did that to us, right? God did that to us. But it don't make sense. I mean, again, who does that benefit? It benefits the Europeans for us to sit around and believe that God basically condemned us to live this life of slavery and have all our shit stolen and everything that happened to us be enslaved. And God did this because we disobeyed. And then you go and read the actual Bible and you ask yourself, there's no way in the world Black people would have this type of, this type of beef with God to basically ignore everything that he's trying to do for us after we've seen the miracles that Moses performed. I can't wrap my head around that. When you're reading the Bible and you look at all the stupid shit that the Hebrews do against what Moses was trying to, Moses trying to help them, God trying to help them, these people just out here, you already just got, escape captivity. You're out in the wilderness, God is giving you power and allowing you to win wars and everything that's what's happening after, the wandering. You got all this good stuff going for you, but somehow you just can't obey God. You just can't obey the person that's doing all this stuff for you. So in God's punishment, he keeps on sending you into enslavement and captivity, and you keep on getting in trouble, and you keep not learning your lesson. It don't make sense. These are your chosen people. It don't fit. So how is these your chosen people? How is a people that's so stupid, that's such a big fuck up, God's chosen people who God is supposed to be perfect, and we're just supposed to ignore everybody else? So all the other people we're supposed to ignore and forget all the other people that he created, supposedly created all of us. Forget everybody else. These dumbass people who can't obey simple rules, we're going to say these are the chosen people, right? And then now it ends up, all this history and time past, it ends up that, well, the Europeans amassed control of the whole fucking planet. Asians are on top. All these other races of people seem to be doing well without God, right? All these other people, they have civilizations that they control, right? They have a banking system they control. They have a monetary system they control. They have a pharmaceutical industry that they control. Everybody's doing well except for Black people. But these are your chosen people? It don't make sense. And then, of course, they want to say, well, the meek shall inherit the earth. All the white man is going to get it in the last days and judgment or what have you. But we're supposed to live our entire life in pain and suffering because we can't obey a simple fucking rule. That's one that's hard for me to accept, right? Can't accept that one. So again, I know you guys have a lot of questions. I put out so much information on this, and I showed you guys how the validity of the Old Testament and the Bible itself, the complete Bible, is in question. So we cannot use the book as proof, definitive proof to the argument. We can't do that. We got to look at actual history. And only actual history fits with what the biblical stories are. So again, I talked about this. You have the tribes in the Bible, the African tribes that go back to the line of Ham, which Ham's supposed to be the progenitor of the Black race, right? We have the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and what have you, Canaanites, all these Black tribes that is conquered by these Israelites, right? Their land taken, and the Israelites supposed to go and flourish or what have you. Nowhere in history can we find that shit. What we can find is the Greeks conquering African tribes and these African people, taking their land, dividing it amongst each other, and then the Romans doing the same thing, basically taking what the Greeks already did and giving us what they gave us. So there's nothing else. We have proof of that, but we don't have the proof of the Hebrews doing this. We don't have the proof of the Jews doing this. We have the proof that the Greeks and the Romans did this. And then we go and look at the fact that, well, wait a minute, the inception of the Bible, or the biblical story that we get, comes from the Greeks. New Testament written in Greek, right? We get the Vetus Latina, Latin Vulgate, written in Latin from Rome. So the players in the inception of the Bible and Christianity and everything just happen to be the group of people that enslaved us in real life, stole our land in real life. And now we have this book saying that God gave them the power to do that, basically. Why would anybody in their right mind want to believe that bullshit? I don't understand why you guys want to believe that and follow that. I just don't get it. To walk around and feel like and believe that you're cursed, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's ridiculous to actually walk around believing that you're cursed because of what some book that you never read says that don't even fit with actual history or anything pertaining to us at all, really. It's bogus to me. So it's something you guys got to really think about. And again, there is no need for the arguments. And I get so many like hateful emails and, I debate with people that makes a little bit of sense, but there's no need for that. When everything that you guys are talking about, everything you guys are really trying to push it needs 100% of a person's faith and belief in order for it to work, because you guys can't offer these people no proof. Somebody said to me that I need to stop doing what I'm doing and come back to God and come back to the correct teaching and teach our people this correct doctrine of what's supposed to be the true belief or religion of Black people. It don't make fucking sense. It don't fit at all. So if it did, then I would be on it, but there's no fucking way. So forget consciousness. And another thing I got to address with that shit, people believing that we worship these Egyptian gods. We do not. The ancient Egyptians didn't worship these people. They revered them. They created these beings as being aspects of nature and our body and reality that actually exist, not for us to worship them the way you guys worship Jesus or say you worship Jesus, right? So, not to be condescending or sound, be funny or anything like that, but we don't worship these guys. I don't go to bed at night and pray to fucking Osiris, right? I don't pray when I need something. I'll fall to my knees and beg Isis and Osiris and fucking Anubis for stuff. Okay, so, I go out and work just like you guys should be doing. There's no need for any of the bullshit. The back and forth, because when I'm crushing it, that's what I get. I get insults. And I'm going to get insults on this video. The thing I want you guys to do is to open up your mind and look at an alternative and ask yourself some very real questions that's going to be tough for you guys to answer without research. And that's one, what's more likely? And that's what I always come to, that conclusion. At the end of it is what's more likely to be true. Either the stuff actually happened and we just lost it, meaning we can't trust what we have today because it's been lost. We have stuff that somebody obviously found a sample of and built on it to create a doctrine of control, right? Either you're going to accept that or you're going to accept that the stuff is true, right? And is it proof to the truth? No, there's no proof to the truth, right? There's more proof to the deception, right? So which one are you going to accept, right? And it is up to you guys to decide which one that's going to be. So yeah, for my Merkabah Scholar Society members, make sure you guys check your emails and everything. Make sure you guys are on the app. The video is already out for the meeting. The link is on the app. Everything's going to go through the app. The site is going to get reworked and get integrated in with the app. So right now, you want to make sure you're on the app. Important video as to the next step of the society is in the last meeting. So you guys want to make sure you guys see that, because there's going to be a lot more to that to come, right? So make sure you guys are on top of that. Also, again, links are in the description for people trying to join. Anybody who want a consultation, links are in the description for that. I wanted to touch on this video real quick while I was on my way home. Just jump out and do this video real fast and make sure I answer some of these questions because it's been a while. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, the people I've had good dialogue with on this whole subject, and the people who really are knowledgeable about this whole thing. I appreciate the information on it. But it's fine, I just want people to do their research and make sure you guys are looking into the right sources to get you to the answers that you're looking for, because, it's so much information on YouTube, so much information online, and you guys really got to look for what fits you and what works for what you're trying to get to. If it's the truth, then you're in the right place. If you just want something to fit with your argument or what you want to believe, then, keep on looking. But again, I have a lot of videos on this, and I appreciate the people who watched and had, respectful dialogue on the whole topic. We're not done. There's a lot more we're going to get into with all this. And the doctrine is gaining more traction. A lot of people coming and watching the videos I have. And I appreciate you guys who've been sharing the videos, because a lot of cases, somebody comes to one of you guys and you guys go to my YouTube and get a video I put out on this and send it to them to watch. And then I get questions. But I appreciate that, because that's a good way to do it, because it's good information in those videos. So yeah, appreciate everybody who's been supporting. Links in the description for everything. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.